Donald Trump is once again escalating his war on American democracy. This time, his target is Portland, Oregon, and the consequences could reshape the debate about presidential power in real time. The question, is this law enforcement or an authoritarian power grab? Let's start with the first development.
Viewers may remember the unrest and turmoil earlier this year as President Trump ordered members of the National Guard and then dozens of Marines to Los Angeles to protect federal property and personnel during violent clashes, vandalism, and protests in the streets in response to immigration operations. The issue remains a political tripwire, and now the president says he will send troops to Portland, Oregon, and elsewhere, quote, authorizing full force, if necessary, to handle domestic terrorists. There is no timeline for such a development in the Northwestern hub. However, the news triggered a swift and stern response from local leaders.
Portland and the state of Oregon believe in the rule of law, and we can manage our own local public safety needs. There is no insurrection, there is no threat to national security, and there is no need for military troops in our major city.
This is not a military target. The president will not find lawlessness or violence here. I've been so deeply disappointed to see the footage from a half decade ago recycled and then recycled again.
Portland was the scene of sometimes violent protests over the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis in 2020. According to reports, recent demonstrations have been significantly less volatile and more focused on an area surrounding the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, building outside downtown. Some federal agents have been injured in flare-ups, and a number of protesters have been charged with assault. Portland is a so-called sanctuary city. These places basically limit cooperation with ICE.
Trump is sending troops to Portland with the goal of, quote, doing a number on the city. And we know what this means. He wants to stoke fear and chaos and trigger violent interactions and riots to justify expanded authoritarian control. Let's not take the bait.
This is not just about Portland. Trump has openly floated similar deployments to other cities, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco. But what happened next is key. The courts stepped in.
And at this hour, a federal judge in Portland has just ruled in favor of Oregon's request to block President Trump's order to deploy National Guard troops to Portland. The case for a temporary restraining order heard yesterday in Portland. Oregon's Attorney General argued that the call-up violated the U.S. Constitution that limits federal law enforcement getting involved in domestic law enforcement. The federal government countering that there is a danger of rebellion here, so the president has the right to call in the Guard to protect the ICE facility and staff. Now, over at the ICE building in South Portland this afternoon, several rounds of tear gas being used by federal agents against the protesters, many against the idea of National Guard coming in. Our Ariel Salt joins us live there now. Ariel, what are you seeing? And I understand there have been some arrests.
Yeah, so we've been hearing of some arrests. Right now, we're seeing about 100 plus protesters still out here. I'm going to step aside so you can take a better look. For a while, we did see federal agents blocking off the road accessing this area. They have just recently moved back inside of the building. We even saw somebody try to drive their vehicle, a civilian try to drive through the vehicle, through the crowd. Portland police jumping in, stopping that from happening. Now, on the roof of the ICE building, we are seeing federal agents rotating up there, taking a peek down. At one point, I even saw a few people who don't appear to be with the federal agents. They were on that second tiered level as well, taking video and making kind of mocking gestures at protesters from above. Now, in the air, you can still see and smell that the remnants of the tear gas and pepper bullets that have happened over the last several hours. Federal agents took several protesters into custody using several rounds of multicolored tear gas against a crowd of hundreds who gathered for a demonstration in front of the ICE facility after a march started the Elizabeth Carruthers Park.
So here's the reality. The courts blocked Trump's full deployment, but federal agents still escalated against civilians with tear gas and arrests. It's a chilling reminder of how fragile democratic guardrails can be and how much depends on them holding firm. The warning is clear. What starts in Portland could spread elsewhere. If Trump is willing to turn military power inward against his political enemies, no city is safe from his authoritarian impulses. This moment echoes 2020, when nationwide protests revealed just how far Trump would go. Back then, the public backlash cost him dearly. The question now is whether Americans will once again rise to stop a president who treats his own people as enemies. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Frontline Democrats, activate the notification bell, and share your thoughts below. Do you believe Trump's deployment plan crosses the line into authoritarianism?